also okay to say no to your little children, your little loved ones. It's okay for them to not be away from mama. It's okay for your spouse to give you a break. It's okay for you to just go out there and do your own things, including shopping.
Hi guys, welcome to the Adulting Out Loud podcast, where we have conversations about all things adulting. I'm your host, Unia, and today I will be joined by someone I have known for a really, really long time. And I cannot wait to have the conversation we are going to have because we all know that one of the markers of being an adult is just how many responsibilities we have to juggle, from jobs to family to friendships and just many other bits here and there that we need to juggle. And so that's what we'll be talking about, balancing life's responsibilities as adults. And joining me, like I said, is someone I've known for a really, really long time. I'm not going to put the year to that so that you don't date us.
Yeah.
But I'm joined by Peninah, Igaga. Penny, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Unia.
Yes.
It's been a long time coming.
It's been a long time.
And that's part of adulting. You plan and you just never make it until you finally do.
Right?
And finally we have.
Finally, our plans have left the church.
Yes.
They have.
Definitely.
Yes. So Penny, do us the honors of introducing yourself.
Yeah, sure. My name is Peninah Susan Igaga. And like Unia mentioned, we have known each other for a very long time. Some of you know me as the legal chef on my socials. Yes, so I won't really go into that right now. I am a lawyer. I am a mom to two, and also married. So yes, life can be a lot sometimes, and I'm glad that I'm here to just share my experience and see how we can be able to navigate this adulting life together.
Yeah. Oh wow, Penny. You do so many things, and like I've had conversations with you, with my sisters, and we're like, anything much for that. What do you find the most challenging in balancing your adult life and the responsibilities that come with the adult life?
Okay, so the most challenging thing in balancing this whole everything that you've mentioned, motherhood, being a wife, being a good employee, being an entrepreneur, is the fact that you will never really balance. Yes, that is the challenging bit.
I watch videos where people are like, no, you can't. I'm like, no, I want to balance.
No, you will never really balance. And that's the challenging bit. It's the guilt that comes with it. The guilt that comes with the fact that, are you being a great mom? When your employee apprehends you for not making it for a certain thing because you are dealing with a sick child, you know, all those things that you have to juggle, then you feel guilty about not spending time with your loved one, the spouse. Yeah. So it becomes a lot. It becomes a lot of pressure on you. You feel, am I doing this right? Do I need to change this? Do I need to maybe take away from friendships? And there's also the friendship bit. Like you see how you and I catching up. Like the good thing is that when we catch up, we totally catch up.
And that's what I really love about our friendship.
Exactly.
Like it's not high maintenance. Like I know that I can call Penny.
Yes.
Even when we haven't caught up for like a really long time, months.
And we will catch up.
Yes, and we'll catch up. How the kids.
And there won't be any hard feelings if I miss your call or if you miss my call. Yeah. And that's us understanding that we are all trying to navigate this adulting thing. We're all trying to balance the boat and we are trying to stay afloat because the water's there and too deep. Yes.
So does that mean that your definition of balance has changed over time? Is it the same now as it was like maybe when you were younger, or has it changed over time? Okay.
So you know I'm a perfectionist.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my many traits. I'm a perfectionist. If I'm celebrating a child's birthday, it has to be perfect. If I'm organizing for a client, it has to be perfect. When I'm at work, I will go over and above when it comes to my KPIs because it's who I am, right? But over the time, I have been humbled. Humbled in what way? for me, perfection is not necessarily having done everything. Perfection is me being intentional when I'm doing a particular role, right? So whether if I'm going to spend time with my children, like now, for instance, I blocked out Sundays. Yes, I blocked out Sundays, and that one, even at my workplace, they know it. You will not call me for anything and on a Sunday. If you're going to invite me for a party, please make sure it's child friendly. If you really must have me come on a Sunday, because I'll come with my family, I'll come with my children mostly. So those are some of the ways I have been able to, it's no longer about perfection as I had envisioned, you know, growing up, you say, when I have my family, this is how it's going to be when I start working, corporate chic, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But no, it's about being intentional and doing it well in that particular moment.
I agree with you, because I think also for me, what has worked for me is to be present.
Yes.
Is that, so when I'm at work, like,
Unless it's an
unless it's
emergency.
an emergency.
Yes.
But I'm not even the kind of mom who will be like, it has started raining, and then I'm like, oh, when I am at this sweater.
Exactly.
No.
That used to be me though.
Really?
Yes. It used to be me. I would call and say, you need to make sure he's wearing a sweater. And the answer was always, yeah, he's wearing a sweater. So with time, I also started to pull back.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like, because I want to be, but then when I'm at home, I also want to be at home. So I won't, like, I don't carry my laptop home. I don't, unless it's like a work thing, which I know that I have to be on this thing.
Yes.
But even then, I prefer working late.
Yes.
So that when I'm home, I am home.
Now I'm an early person, so I'll wake up earlier than the children and work. They shouldn't see me carrying work home because it's their time. It really is their time. Yes.
And not like you're there, but then you're also on the laptop.
Exactly.
So yeah, so that speaks into boundaries.
Exactly.
So other than what we have shared, what other boundaries have you put in place? You've talked about Sunday. Sunday, I think, is a big one.
Yes.
For me too. Sunday work.
Sunday work can be a lot because like you need to get ready for Monday,
falling, right?
Even mentally.
So yes, there's that boundary. But what other boundaries have you put in place that have helped you to balance the responsibilities?
So this is going to be a bit harsh. It's going to seem a bit harsh, but we'll be like,
Morning. You're going to put a disclaimer.
Yes.
No offense.
Exactly.
But
even at home, my children know when Mama enters her room and they tell them Mama is resting, you do not knock on the door yelling Mama. Yes, exactly. Because I've come from work. I don't want to take out any of my frustrations on the children. So I'll come home and give myself 30 minutes. Maybe I'll carry a cup of chamomile tea into my room, just sit, reflect. And for me, that's a transition from work to home.
Okay,
yes, it's a transition. So that's one of the boundaries that I said. The children know that when Mama is having her tea time. We call it tea time. Mama is having her tea time. Mama is having her tea time. No one will come back. And the good thing is that my spouse has also embraced that. He knows that, you know what, guys, Mama needs some time. And yes, another thing that, another boundary that I have created for myself, especially now for the legal chef side of it, entrepreneurship is hard. You feel like every call that comes in, you need to answer, you need to deliver, you need to this. I do not take on too much. For instance, like so on some of those days, maybe Eid or Easter, make sure you order for your Easter. Easter and all that, I won't take on more than a certain number of people. I won't say how many. I won't take on more than a certain number of people because I want to deliver quality. And for me to deliver quality, there has to be boundaries. I'm not that service provider who will take on every single thing because again, the perfectionist in me comes out in the detail, in how I curate the meals. If I take on too much, I'll compromise on that. Yes, definitely. So it's about not taking on too much and having small transition points. For instance, now my transition from home to going into work in the mornings, I have a yoga mat. Yes.
At office?
No, it's at home. So that's why I always wake up 30 minutes before the children wake up. I wake up and just reflect. I don't even have a thing I think about. I just sit. And I think about, oh, I'm going to work. But not in a bad way, but it's like, those small transition points. Yes.
Because me, I like, the alarm goes
when
I'm like,
children.
I'm like, okay. Yeah. So actually, literally, I wake up and go straight to the kitchen. Make breakfast. Like, it's Penny, like the minute my feet hit the ground, it's go. Actually, this week we talked about it, and I was saying how this week has been so busy and been so over, because I felt like I was on the go the whole time. Like I didn't have moments of just like you said, I'm not even thinking about anything, like just being still and being like
those pause moments, even at work. If you need some time off, it doesn't have to take a 15-minute walk even around the building that you're in, because sometimes it gets overwhelming because you're immersing too much on yourself. And so many people may look at it as, so many people have this thing of, I've been labeled as neba ne penye oli muzungu nyo. Oli muzungu nyo.
Chamomile tea.
Yes, sweet chamomile. Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's what has helped me stay grounded. Just yesterday, one of the moms, so I have a mom group also that I created for my, so there's a school, there's the school group, but then I was intentional and created a smaller group of moms of whose children we all knew and created it. So the other day, given the nature of the cold weather and all that, I thought, you know what, we need to get thicker sweaters for the children. So I mobilized. And at the end of the day, one of the comments that one of the moms sent to me was that, Penny, I don't know how you do all this.
Yeah,
like
literally me. That's me. I'm like, I don't know how Penny does all this.
Yes, because I offered to just do all the sweaters for all the kids. Yes, because I was making one for my child.
Okay. So, but like on top of all that, like Penny, me, I really feel like I can't take on anymore. I was just telling you now, like I took on a pet, and I'm already feeling like now I have a pet on top of the kids.
Yes, you have now more children,
right?
Another child.
So I'm just like, hey, I don't think so. But I like what you've shared about pause moments.
Yes,
because I think it's just it's those small things, it's those small things that we can incorporate in our daily, in our routines. So do you have a routine that you feel helps you other than the pause moments?
Yes.
Where you say this amount of time maybe is dedicated to like this,
Okay, so I'm going to give you an example of earlier this week. I reached out to you and I said, so you need to tell me, last week was it?
No, it was this week.
This week
on
Monday morning. Exactly.
Like,
now that's
early.
part of my routine. Monday morning, I plan out my week. Like I know my week from Monday to Sunday. And I do different color codes, like even on my phone, I'll say that, you know what, this is high priority, this is middle priority, this is low priority. And that has really helped me balance all, the little things that I have to do. So I reach out to people and schedule them. I know it may look like,
I know, but it seems like, it feels like,
but it really helps because you see, I need to make sure that I keep appointments. You guys, mom brain is real.
Thank you.
Mommy brain is real. We forget things.
Yeah.
Like we totally forget things. And even just you forgetting, that just upsets you. It sets you back mentally. Like you need time to get your groove back once you've forgotten that. So in order to avoid that, I schedule everything. Like even pick up of the sweaters. I know when that is supposed to be and at what time. So as opposed to calling the person at 4 when I was supposed to pick them at 4, I'll call you at 3. So I've scheduled 3 and 4. 3 to call and be like, I am coming at 4.
Are they ready?
And then at 4, I am now on my way there. So it has really helped scheduling. For me, scheduling, I write everything. Write can be digitally or in a little notebook. Because why I say that is that some people prefer writing in little notebooks. I'm both. For me, it's both.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That's so true. We forget stuff. Just this week, I forgot a prescription for my dad.
And you saw how frustrating it felt.
I was so sad.
You feel so guilty.
This thing.
Now, let me tell you, there was a time my husband wasn't around and he had told me also, he left that morning. Now, he's the one who picks up the kids from school. And he told me, I'm not going to pick them up from school today. You're going to have to pick them up. I remembered at 5.
You reached 5 o'clock.
The children finished school at 3:30.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Now, because I was used to him picking up the kids and then he comes and picks me at 5, it's when I'm thinking, how come 5 he's not yet here? Oh my goodness, I was supposed to pick up the kids. You see, the guilt. I reached there, then my daughter is like, Mama, you picked us late. Why did you pick us late? Daddy doesn't pick us late. So you see those things. So the best thing to do is just schedule.
Yeah.
If you're picking up the children that week, set
Put
it.
it in.
Set
I've learned
it.
that the hard way.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I just keep forgetting stuff and then I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, it's that day. So,
Also,
yeah.
have you also tried where it's your daughter's ballet class and you forget to pack the ballet outfit?
Swimming. What happened? Let me tell you what happened to me this year. Like
Gosh.
last year, her swimming day was Tuesday.
Yes.
Then this year it's Wednesday. So now here what saved me is I was about to forget, but what saved me is I was talking to her, so I'm telling her, okay, so I'm going to pack your swimming costume, but I'm going to put it like in a different bag from the one we usually put. So I was telling her, but I'm going to put it in this bag. And she's like, Mommy, why are you packing my it's not swimming tomorrow. I'm like, no, but it's Tuesday. She's like, but with him on Wednesday. That's when I was like,
yeah. So we have little
in the calendar.
things hang all over the place, even in their rooms, just to remind me. Apart from it being in my phone, also little reminders, like my son's schedule, then my daughter's schedule.
Or even the kind of uniform they're supposed to wear. That day my kid was the only
Why do
one
schools have different uniforms?
No, that day my kid was the only one in the school uniform instead of sportswear.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was just like,
well, that's you juggling.
Yeah,
all
and then
that.
you forget, and then you remember, and you're like, oh, today was supposed to be. Yeah, that's really hard. So, how do you handle seasons where balance feels impossible? Do you have those where it just feels like this month has refused, or this week has refused?
Yes.
It's just like so.
And I believe it happens for everyone. Definitely, we're all human beings. We sometimes change throws us off balance, you know. You've planned your month and then maybe your employer will say, you know what, I need you to go to Gulu for a week. And you're thinking, but I have my child's, you know, I have my child's this. And that's why you see at the Legal Chef, we only offer our service on the weekend or on appointments so that I can be able to be away from my legal work. So there are, yes, exactly, or public holidays, because this is me trying to juggle both. So what happens, how I manage those is when it gets overwhelming, Uni, I take a step back. I will not tell you how many times I have entered my bed and stayed in there for 4 hours straight.
Really?
Sleeping.
In my head, you don't sleep.
Because I don't.
Every time I'm talking to you, you're like, oh, I had this thing, or I don't know where. We're going where the other thing you were planning for, like the kids and the family.
Exactly, the family outing in December.
When does Penny rest? It's December. Now we are resting.
At home and what. But you see now for the kids, for them resting is not staying at home.
It's not.
It is going out there because for them they want to break a bit of routine. But unfortunately, it takes a toll on you, the organizer. You're trying to rest, you're thinking this weekend, no clients, they have not confirmed on Friday. Then Friday evening at 10 p.m. a client calls you, please. You know, this is a client who has been with you and has been a very loyal client. And he's like, Penny, I have an emergency. My in-laws are coming. I need food and I'm not ready to prepare it. Please, you need to do me a solid, as we used to say. You see, at that point, you're like, but this weekend was supposed to be for my kids. Now, there are some clients who of course, the bill a little higher. Yes, for the inconvenience. But at the end of the day, it's about taking a step back. There are some days that I block. I'll give you an example. During this Eid period, I didn't take on any orders.
Really?
Yes, I took on Ramadan orders. I used to send food and what, but Eid on that day, because for the last 2 consecutive Eids, my family has been going without me. Yes, or I joined them like a little later. And like my son asked me, Mama, how come you don't spend time with us on Eid? So that guilt.
Right.
Yes.
Mom guilt. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so taking a step back.
Taking a step back. Pace yourself. It's actually okay to say no. It's okay to say no to things. It's okay to cancel that appointment. I'm not saying, Bana, cancel on your friends, but it wouldn't make sense for me to meet up with you and mentally I'm not here. You see, I should be ready to be an intentional friend. I shouldn't be here and I'm meeting you and the whole time I am on my phone. And that's a thing that I have when I hang out with my friends. my phone is in the bag because I need to talk to you. I need to understand. I need to know how you're doing.
And also because we have been caught up for like probably most
Exactly.
adult friendships, you're probably not seeing each other every day, like how you're on
Yes,
campus.
exactly.
Or, you know, right? So,
Where you just bump into each other.
and then you were there
Yes.
the same day, like the previous day together. And so yeah, so I hear you.
Yes.
But then now, how do you handle the guilt that comes with saying no? Because I feel like there's so much guilt. Like, like
I say no.
I'm going to be the one.
The trip that was supposed to leave the WhatsApp group is
and
going
the
to
one who is
starting
the WhatsApp.
starting the trend of canceling. Because once one person cancels, the rest.
The rest. Because I feel like we are all always thinking it in our
Yes,
head.
until one person does. Yeah, me too.
Like actually, let me tell you a story. Last weekend I met up with a friend, like a new friend,
Yes.
but she has just moved here, and she's Kenyan, and she was like, a mutual friend connected us, and she was like, oh, you guys should link up, and what? So we had met once, but we had said, oh, we should do this again. You know how you say we should do this again?
Yeah, that tagline.
Never do it again. So we had been planning for so long, but then this time we had set a date, but that week reached, and I was like, oh, this Saturday I have to get out of the house. I'm going to be home. I didn't really have anything to do at home, but I was feeling really tired. But then I was like, no, let me go. I'm going to go.
Yes.
So we caught up. It was a really good catch up. But then she also shared, she was like, do you know, I
almost cancelled.
Because she was also feeling the same way. She was like, I had a long week, I had like so much work, and I was feeling tired. But then I just pushed myself.
Yes.
So how do we overcome that guilt of saying no? Of being like, no, you know what?
I don't think that guilt can be overcome. But I think of it in this way. When you're guilty about something, it means you care.
Yeah, that's true.
You see, when you're guilty about something, it means you deeply care about this friendship. It hurts you that you've had to cancel. But at the end of the day, I keep looking at it this way. Because of when you say no, you're actually saying yes to something.
Yes.
When you say no to not meeting up with these people, you're saying yes to yourself.
Yes.
You're tired. You're overwhelmed. You thought you would make it and you couldn't. You see, of course, there are some things where, like, sure, even if you're tired, you have to make it. You patch yourself up and look good and show up, you know? Yeah. But at the end of the day, when you say no to something, you say yes to yourself. You'll say yes to spending more time with your children. You'll say yes to maybe hanging out at home and paying attention to small things that you would have missed out that weekend. So the guilt will never go, but rebuttal it by saying that, you know what, when I say no, I care. And at the same time, when I say no, I'm saying yes to something else.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But do you also feel like we have taken on so much? Like, how do you differentiate between, okay, this is an essential responsibility? In some responsibilities where I feel like we have taken on, but we really shouldn't.
Yeah.
Like, it shouldn't be. So how do you differentiate and be like, okay, like what you shared on your calendar, and you're saying like, this is high priority, it has to be done this week. This is medium, like it would be good to do it, but and this one is like low priority.
Yes.
So how do you differentiate?
Okay, so the way I put it is that if it doesn't align with my values at that particular time, if it doesn't align with my goals in that particular period, it can always be pushed. Right? Yeah. Whatever aligns in that particular time is what you need to do. And that is what you give the red, the priority. The orange, you're like, you know what, this can always be done in a week. The yellow, that one is, I'll always do it. I will do it. I'm thinking about it. But at that particular time, it's not aligning with what you need right now. For instance, I'm a bit hard on, oh my goodness, I'm going to sound so funny. Sorry, mamas. For instance, I believe in mental health of moms. Sometimes you need to step away from children and all that for your sanity, but not for too long. Okay, you get what I mean? Too long will be like 2 days. Of
2
you
days is
being
long.
away. No, it depends on the age of the child.
Okay.
You see. But I'm looking at a month-old baby, less than 6 months, and you're thinking, oh, they'll be with phone. Unless it's like a very red priority that you need to be there. Please carry your handbag of a child. go and for your enjoyments somewhere
But you know,
else.
actually, usually, naturally, even you, like when you're away, even where you are, you're not there.
You won't be
so
settled.
naturally, you just be like, you know what, let's just go.
Yes.
So that's where you are. I'm also there, and I'm like, and I'm thinking in terms of like work things. Let's say you just come back from maternity leave, and now you need to travel. Like usually, you find most moms negotiating, being like, "Oh, can I at least come with my baby and one caretaker because my baby is young? Because you know I will be at this work thing, but I won't be there."
And I like that you brought up that example because it's some of the things that I deeply advocate for workplaces, pushing for some grace to mothers, to women. We are the nurturers of the nation, you know? So really, we need to be extended some grace. And at the same time, we're trying to keep up with our counterparts. Yes. So at the end of the day, I think it's just what feels right to you is what you can do. What feels right to you, what will be right for your family. Don't forget yourself.
Yeah.
Truly don't forget yourself. Because if you're not okay, your family won't be okay. Yes.
Yeah, that's true. So which takes me back to like self-care. What are some of those self-care, like how do you practice self-care even amidst all the responsibility that you take on you? You can come on my own.
Yes.
See your 30 minutes of your time when you get back home to transition. You've talked about how you have pause moments. What other things do you do where you say, now this one is for me?
Yeah.
On top of your many other responsibilities where you've showed up as a friend, you've showed up as a mom, you've showed up as a wife. What are those things where you be like, okay, this one is for me? Yeah.
So, you know, when I came in today, you spoke about my hair, right? And I think your colleague mentioned that she thought it was a weave.
Yeah, right.
Now that's, thank you. So that's one of the things. I get salon therapy.
I don't like salons.
If you have the right person.
I feel like it's so...
Yeah.
It's not self-care, but yes,
I have salon therapy. Now, I was like you a few years back. I was like, I would do my hair myself. You pre-poo, you shampoo, you put avocado and ghee treatment before you wash it out with shampoo and all that. But I can't do that anymore. I can't do that anymore because obviously you take much longer doing it than if you went to a salon. And because for me, having great hair, looking good is what gives you that confidence as a woman. So for me, that is self-care. For now, I gave up on taking care of my own hair. Shout out to Michael, who knows my hair in and out. But yes, basically that's one of them, salon therapy. In fact, I call him and he knows, like, just tell him, Michael, I've had a long day. Jangu okole massage byonna byokola to just make sure that I'm okay by the time I leave. Do your nails, you know? Yes. It gives you a new confidence. It gives you you feel cleansed of sorts. Yes. Another thing is, for me, self-care is talking.
Yeah.
Yes. Talking. I think Unia has been on the other side of it. Sometimes when I cannot contain something, I will call a friend and just say, you know what do I do in this situation? How can I manage this? And sometimes they talk sense. Sometimes it's me on the nonsensical side of that coin. Yes, of that conversation. Sometimes I just need to be brought back. But for me, that's how it is. It's self-care for me. And then also self-care is work stays at work.
Think that's important.
Work stays at work. Family does not come at work. That's also self-care.
Yeah.
I used to have my nanny when she had just come. There was a time she called me. I was in the middle of a very serious meeting. She beeps me and I call her back and she's like, Auntie, we were just saying hello.
You were like, friend, I was in
Do you know how, like, each time I see your call from home, as opposed to, oh, please, they want to chat with me, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what has happened? Exactly. Yes. So self-care for me is also talking to people and creating boundaries. If I felt something towards and I feel like it's overwhelming, I'll tell you, right? I'll tell you that, you know what, this is, I think you need to take a tile back. Even at work, they know me. You need to take a tile back, one tile back, because you're in my tile, you know? So I protect myself by creating, and boundaries shouldn't have to be brick walls. No, like we live in a community, but people need to know that, you know what, when Penny is like this, it means she's concentrating on something. Please don't bring your weekend KB. You know, that kind of thing. But find me at lunchtime, because I need to make sure my legal work is also finished and done, because it will also help me mentally. Imagine having to carry work home. So it's continuous. Yes.
Okay, so to wrap this up, what advice would you give to other young adults out there about balancing their responsibilities? Because we are all balancing responsibilities. Like with every friend that I've seen, it's always like, my side hustle, I've let it go.
Yes.
Then, like, relationships. So, like, what advice would you give?
Okay, so my advice, and I think I've been talking about it throughout our talk, is that you need to let go of what you can't manage. It's a very difficult conversation we've had, and I'm also talking in relation to relationships, I'm talking in relation to a certain job. It might be paying you so much, but are you happy? Like, you come back home, you're very, it's very, I'm being very careful about saying this, because, you know, we live in an economy where you need to work. You see, you need to work to put food on the table, but you do not want your children to always see you sick. And by sick, I mean not sick malaria. You're sick because you're just not well. You're tired, you're stressed. So let go of one thing. Like, there are times I've had to cancel orders. Like, I'll tell them, no, I don't have food at the moment, right? I don't have food at the moment. There's a time one of my supervisors sent me a message on a Sunday, and I deliberately didn't read it until, no, I didn't read it.
It said
until Monday. No, when I saw it, I didn't even blue tick. I saw it and I'm like, I will not, because it's Sunday.
And because once you see,
you can't unsee, and you have to deal with it. Exactly. So when I'm asked why I didn't respond, I just said, you see, at that particular time I was in the family vacuum. So phones away. You respectfully try to explain why. You don't just say, no, my space, please, mental health. No. You try to explain, because you see, even other people are trying to beat deadlines, and maybe they may need you in that ecosystem to help with dealing with those deadlines, but they don't know that they're pushing you too hard. And it's also okay to say no to your little children, your little loved ones. It's okay for them to not be away from mama. It's okay for your spouse to give you a break. It's okay for you to just go out there and do your own things, including shopping. That's also...
Penny, I don't know how you didn't mention shopping.
Because I am trying to control it. I don't want to talk about it. You know, I love shopping.
You really
it is total therapy. And the funny thing is, now that I have children, like, I actually love buying for them stuff, and just seeing them looking nice.
You know where I got it?
I know, and I'm so excited about it.
I don't like shopping.
And you know, the irony is that shopping is everywhere. Whether downtown eyo mchikubo, ngenze Mowino, Carrefour, Bichi.
Everywhere.
You know, sometimes even if I'm not going to buy,
just
seeing for the future. Saving favorites.
That is so funny. That is so not self-care for me. Self-care for me is like sleeping.
Yes.
Like sleeping in. You see how this morning I was telling you, I had to wake up and take a trip. I'm like,
you're like, why are the trips on Saturday?
So like sleeping in.
Yes. What are you doing sleeping up to 9? I think I should bring my children to yours. They will not let me sleep
really,
up
no,
to
my
9. Oh my goodness, by 7 they're up.
But you know why?
Yes. Mine sleep really early. And that's part of the scheduling. Like, even them, they're part of the scheduling. By like 7:30, they're in bed. 6 dinner, 7:30 bed. Whether it's a school day or a... Yes, I need to rest. Yeah.
For now,
Which is okay, that is your routine.
So, yeah, so like but then morning now with like some real sleeping.
Yes.
Up to
Yes.
9. Like sometimes
And that's your self-care.
Yeah.
And I think that's another thing that I would want to say. What works for me as self-care may not be what works for you. You may want to sleep in. I'm this kind of person whose mind is always working 24/7. I'm thinking, oh my God, the sweater. I'll get up. Even when I'm home, even when the nanny is home, or when I'm home, I feel like I need to give the kids breakfast. So if they wake up at 7, I just know I am awake at 7. You know, that kind of thing. So, but that may not work for you, you know, and may not work for some Juliana somewhere. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
A really good conversation.
Thank you for having
on
me.
And on and on.
As always, our conversations.
Yes, so that's it from us guys. But this conversation, like we have said, could go on and on and on. There's so much to share about like life's responsibilities. But we'd love to hear from you how you guys deal with the many responsibilities that you have in your lives. How are you balancing that? Are you balancing that? Do you believe it can be balanced, that a balance can be struck? Let us know in the comments. Engage with us. We'd love to hear from you.